Hello, I am Trifina Wilson, and I'm a business and emotional intelligence strategist. And welcome to the Get It Leadership Podcast. If you are an entrepreneur, startup, or business owner, then the Get It Leadership Podcast is just for you. Every week, I will be discussing tips you can use to improve your emotional intelligence leadership, well-being, and business. I will show you how to achieve success by using the tools you already have. So today we have a very special and inspiring guest, the one and only, the magician, Jay Rahman. Hello and welcome, Jay. How are you?
Hi, Trifina. I'm very well, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. It's really nice to see you. Looking very dapper.
It's actually a Moroccan outfit, so I just thought I'll make an effort for you.
Thank you. It looks very nice, very nice.
Thank you.
You are a man with a vast thirst for knowledge, for learning and development. You are the only person in the UK to be awarded with 6 fellowships, which I think is just amazing and very inspiring. You are a regional board member for CMI, and you're starting your doctorate in management and leadership. And what I like about you is that you are trying with your vision to enhance the practices of leadership globally, and develop 7 million leaders by 2027. So what inspired you on your journey?
Quite a few things. I've experienced I've experienced loads of different things. So just to put it into perspective, my last 27 years, if you like, as a professional, I've worked with 47 different managers. Mm-hmm. And I can only remember 7. Mm-hmm. Now, what does that tell you from my perspective? You know, when you work with so many professionals, managers, leaders, or senior leaders, and you're considering I've worked with 47 different professionals or individuals, and only 7 come to mind, that's what motivated me. That's what kind of inspired me, if you like.
Yeah, that's good.
and you know, if you're wondering how do I know I had 47 managers or leaders, I always like to keep a tab of things or evidence. Because for me, it's providing justification. So it's not just randomly coming up with a scenario. It's factual information. And when you start collecting data, so I have a spreadsheet which kind of has followed me throughout my whole journey, and I always like to go in and add notes and comments. So for me, this is sad, considering I've worked with so many individuals, and only 7 come to mind who have really had a positive impact on me as a professional or who have inspired me. It's not even half.
But it's the reality of that, you know, and how many of the people have kind of gone through a similar experience where there's only maybe 1 or 2 that have actually made a difference in their life and being supportive of their own development as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's just experiences. And as a young person, I found it difficult to appreciate what I was feeling or understand what I was feeling. Because naturally, when you're young and you don't necessarily understand the professional values or you're quite new to an environment, I didn't realize at the time, like some of my managers and the impact they had on me. But as I progress and with maturity and experience and knowledge and all the rest, it's quite easy to identify. And I use this phrase, there are 2 types of professionals. We have the fake merchandise and we have the real deal. And sadly, in my experience with regard to managers and leaders, majority are they are under the fake merchandise banner or section, if you like. So yeah, it's just the way. It's just what motivates me.
That's amazing. So from all the work that you have been doing, what's the most kind of memorable that's really stuck in your mind?
Yeah, so for me, the most memorable is knowing I've had the opportunity to develop more than 7,000 managers and leaders in various, say, in different parts of the world. So globally, to have that opportunity to work with professionals and inspire them and push them in the right direction, for me, is an amazing buzz. And also knowing that I am the only person in the UK who has been awarded or achieved 6 fellowships, and I've got my 7th in the pipeline. I'll have it by the end of the year, so I do want to end 2020 on a high. So yeah, these are the 2 moments for me. It's been the most memorable and most exciting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's amazing. It's very inspiring. How does it feel for you to be the only person in the UK to be awarded with so many amazing fellowships?
Motivates me to do more.
Yeah.
So my target is between now and the next 3 years, I would like to achieve 12. So
go for it.
Yeah.
And I believe you will achieve it.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm confident I'll definitely get there. This is just how I function as a professional. Everything I've desired in my life, I have achieved based on, and for me, it's just combining 3 key areas: having the vision, developing a strategy, and self-discipline. And the 3 elements, if you like, combined, hasn't let me down, and I'm not prepared to change my attitude or my way of doing things. So I'm feeling super confident.
I believe you will achieve it. Definitely. Sure.
Watch this space.
I love your motivation. You definitely will achieve the 12. So I'm wishing you all the best for that as well. So as I said earlier, the one thing I really like about you is your 2027 vision for leaders. Can you explain a little bit more about that vision and what you are actually aiming to achieve?
Yeah, absolutely. So the last few years, Trifina, I have been traveling the world, working with various organizations, and also understanding a little bit about the cultural values and the way of thinking, and also the impact it has on the staff members. And I felt at the time there was a huge gap, if you like, with regard to leaders who are competent and leaders who are inspiring. There's a difference here. Being competent, that's the basic. That's just what we expect. But to be able to inspire someone, to be able to take your team members on a positive or a magical journey, you really need to know your stuff. And although it's 3 years in the making, but officially I convinced myself 2020 is the year I would explore this vision, and 2027 is when I would hit my 7 million mark. So for me, it's important to develop leaders, not just in the UK, although this is home, and I've been doing that for a long time. But I do want to spread my love for leadership globally, and also demonstrate to the wider audience how good I am and how I can push people's boundaries. Because when you're confident in your own abilities and you feel confident about the way you do things, and also it's creating those magical moments, and this is where the whole magician concept comes into it. And it works. It works. And I've had, in terms of feedback, I would say confidently, 97 of clients who meet me, they'll always say, Jay, you're an absolutely amazing individual. You inspire me, you motivate me. And for me, it's a constant reminder. Yes, I am good at what I do, but it means it's a never-ending journey. I constantly would like to develop myself. I'd like to challenge myself. And this is why I'm excited about starting my doctorate next month in management and leadership. So yeah, it's just so for me, it's developing myself at the highest possible level and demonstrating to the wider audience you can push yourself. And the problem is, Trifina, often people create barriers. They fail to look outside the box. It's very much, oh, I'm not comfortable with this. I'm just going to stay within my safe zone. And there's nothing wrong with that. But as professionals, everyone has a choice. You could be someone who motivates your team members, or you could be someone who inspires them. There's a difference here. Mm-hmm. Personally, I chose to inspire not just the people around me, but on a global scale. I would like to inspire professionals. I would like to demonstrate to everyone who, for example, connects with me, that you can achieve so much. And success is not just about money. Success is about making a positive impact or on having a positive impact on the people around you. And if you're able to develop someone and give them the confidence to push their boundaries and become a better version of themselves, if you like, think about the impact they would have on others. So it's making this world become a better place through good leadership. Mm-hmm. And this is why I'm focused. Mm-hmm. And although 7 years seems like a long time, but I want to do it properly. I don't want to cut corners and just hit my mark. For me, it's taking myself on an interesting journey and also learning along the way. And this is why I've given myself 7 years. And I'm super confident about hitting my mark. And also, I've adopted in my videos, I've adopted the brand 7M. Mm-hmm. So in all my videos, throughout the content, you'll see 7M, and it's just a reminder to myself, the 7 million mark. Mm-hmm. And I've also changed my LinkedIn profile to the Magician 7M. So again, it's that constant reminder to motivate me.
Yeah. And you're putting it out there as well into the universe that's what you're going to achieve with the 7 million. So has anyone asked you to do any magic tricks then?
No, I mean, quite a few people have approached me and said, and have asked me, why do you call the magician? And I've just said, look, the more you get to know me, the more you'll understand about my thinking, my motivation, how I like to do things. But for me, it's important to make a powerful statement. It's important to be different. It's important to develop a brand. And the magician concept has been with me. It has been with me for a good 7-8 years now.
That's amazing.
And I've always introduced myself as the magician. And a lot of people have asked me, why is that, Jay? Why do you call yourself the magician? And I said, I'll take you on a magical journey. Just follow me and you'll achieve greater success. And honestly, I know it sounds a cliche, but honestly, Trifina, I can confidently say to you, everyone that I have connected with, or everyone who has met me in person, they'll agree with me. That's great. It's how we develop people's mindset. And as a professional, if you're able to challenge the professional's intelligence and make them realize, yes, this is your safe net, but you can go beyond this. I'll take you and hold my hand and I'll take you on a safe journey. It's how we develop that inner confidence, that inner chi.
Yeah. So with that being said, then why do you think positive leadership and team development is so important in organizations?
Well, without positive leadership, Trifina, how can you possibly motivate your team members? Let's be honest, nobody likes to be around a manager or a leader who moans a lot or who complains a lot. We want to become good role models, and it's important to use positive language. So, for example, if you convince someone that we can achieve this, so considering where we are, we would rise above the challenge. We would demonstrate to the wider audience how good we are as a business. We have the team to support the organization or to make it happen. So it's important. It's important to develop a champion's mindset. And you can only do that with a positive outlook. If you have someone who's negative or who's constantly undermining their own ability, I'm not sure if I can do this, I'm not sure if I can commit to this, how can you possibly inspire your team? You failed. You've effectively failed.
Yeah. And that energy is contagious as well. Like you said, people are going to emulate what their leader is doing and how they're behaving. And I know you read the article by Dr. Travis, and the research was showing how senior management have the lowest emotional intelligence score. Were you surprised by that research?
Absolutely. No, not at all.
Me either.
For me, it motivated me to challenge myself and connect with not just my clients but also the wider audience. And I do like to publish content on LinkedIn just to get the voice out there. But I'm not surprised, and I'll tell you why, Trifina. See, the risk is, as a leader, as a senior leader, because their focus is to drive the organization forward, to keep up with, to promote sustainability or to manage the business strategy. What tends to happen, senior leaders, they so focus with the objective or the vision in mind, they fail to connect with the team. So it's very much, let's have meetings. Nothing wrong with that. But when you're not visibly present in an organization and your staff members don't necessarily know who these individuals are, it's worrying. So for me, it's important to be visible and just have conversation with your employees. Just because you're a senior manager or a senior leader doesn't mean you cannot connect with people at various levels. It's having that social element where you connect with your team members and demonstrate you care about them as a person. It's not just, although, in organizations we have a certain number of employees and all the rest, and sometimes people are seen as numbers. We can replace you if necessary. But for me, it's important to develop good relationships.
It's those good relationships and the connections that you'll see in the organizational culture is the strongest, because people, senior management are more personable. Employees can feel they can come to senior management and talk to them about things that are going on and not kind of feel like they kind of below them and kind of have to go for a third person to speak to them. I think I've always had with the organizations that I've worked with an open door policy. I want everyone to feel they can come and talk to me about anything, work related, non-work related. I think it's important to build them strong relationships with the people that you are working with. So from the work that you have done, what have been kind of your biggest challenges and how have you overcome them?
The absent mind. And what I mean by that, people's narrow-minded perception. And I've met so many professionals in the past who have pushed me back. Oh, Jay, this is not possible. There's no way you will achieve this, my friend. This is just not a realistic expectation. And it motivates me to prove them wrong and to demonstrate I'm the real deal. I'm the magician. I can do it. Although I have had challenges in the past where I found it difficult to feel motivated. It's natural when you approach someone inspiring and you ask for their advice and they knock your confidence. It can have a negative impact, not just your mental well-being, but also your confidence level, but that could effectively push you back. But over the years, I've developed strategies to overcome situations. And for me, it's just that buzz. When someone says, Jay, this is not possible, for me, it's a question of how soon can I make this happen to demonstrate. And that's what motivates me. So I enjoy taking all the negative energy people give out and converting that into positive energy and using that to motivate myself.
That's good that you're using that to motivate you to move forward. I think it's quite a hard thing for some people to do, though. Probably not everyone's as strong as you, and some people do take that personally. What are kind of your tips or advice in terms of taking that negativity and turning it into something positive? What's kind of been your kind of strategy by doing that? Because we all come across negative people in our lives and comments or things that people say. You have to be quite resilient to kind of dust yourself off and carry on. What have been your kinds of motivating tips to carry on and use that and turn that into something that's motivating you?
Yeah, so I do spend a lot of time self-reflecting or self-reflection. It's important to understand our own strengths and weaknesses And often people would rely on family, friends. And if you ask someone what you're good at, often people will say, my friends think I'm good at photography or whatever that is. So for me, it's important to have that self-reflection and find that inner voice. If something is not working for you, I mean, don't feel upset about the process. Ask yourself, what can I do differently to add value? What can I do differently to change my mindset? But sometimes people like to go in a circle and they'll just repeat the process. Now, if something's not working, it's no point in repeating the cycle. You want to change your strategy. You want to ask yourself, where am I going wrong? Why is it not coming together? So for me, the first thing is having that self-reflection. And the second thing for me is the realization, by someone being negative, ultimately it's me who has to provide the food on the table. So you could challenge me, Trifina, in terms of my credentials, experiences, whatever that is. But ultimately, I have to so when it comes to providing food on the table for myself, it's me who has to make it happen, regardless what you say. So it's that realization, yes, you'll meet some individuals who might not necessarily have the confidence, or they might not necessarily have the life experiences to appreciate your success or your vision. But it's important not to knock their confidence. It's important to be a good role model and demonstrate what you can do or what you can do differently. So for me, it's that self-reflection.
Which is very important. So what are your top 3 tips for remote leadership?
Well, the first thing for me is as leaders, we need to create touch points. And what I mean by that is making a genuine connection with your team members. So it's great to send out emails to your colleagues or your team members and give them a bit of structure, guidance. But if we are unable to have quality discussions where we're able to open up as leaders and encourage the team members to open up about their own vulnerabilities, for me, it's that connection, that social connection. So it's important to have quality discussions. And sometimes it helps just to encourage the team members. Let's have a coffee morning. Bring your favorite mug along. Let's have a discussion about you. Let's just put the business to a side. Let's have a discussion about you. So that's the first tip. We want to be able to connect with our team members on a social level. The second piece is training. Now, if we expect staff members to work remotely, nothing wrong with that. For me personally, the fact that I don't have to travel, I don't have to go into the office, I've been able to save a lot more money than I have in the last 6 months because I don't necessarily have that expenditure. So it's a positive. But we need to, as leaders, we need to ask ourselves, the team members, are they ready for this new way of working? Do they have the skill set? Do they have the relevant experience, the necessary skills? And as leaders, if we neglect staff training or developing them, we're asking for trouble. And it's not just neglecting responsibilities from a training element. We need to ensure staff are provided with the tools. Now, if you have a laptop, but you don't have a webcam, if you have a headset, but it doesn't record, how do you make it work? And leaders would need to have a structured process in place that would allow them to ensure staff members are equipped as effectively as possible. So for me, that's the second piece. The third piece, if you like, leaders would need to collaborate with the wider audience. So it's not just looking for inspiration within your own organization. We also need to think about our leaders. If someone's in a leadership position and they have great influence on the team members and management and all the rest, we also need to be mindful of their own vulnerabilities and their own mental well-being. So this is why it's important for leaders to connect or interact, if you like, or collaborate with like-minded professionals. And I'm not referring to someone at your level. It can be someone above, someone below. We're looking at it from a professional element. And for me, it's important to have that visibility, knowing that you're not on your own. You can connect with like-minded professionals and learn. And the truth is, Trufina, if we don't ask the right questions, we don't get the right answers. It's a simple concept. If you have something in mind, you need to ensure you're asking the right questions. That's all it is. So for me, the 3 tips, the first one is creating touch points. So this is where we connect with our team members. The second one is developing our team members at the highest level, so providing training when necessary. And the third piece is collaboration. Let's learn from like-minded professionals. Let's not think of someone as a competitor, but let's just add value.
Mm-hmm. There are some really great tips. Fantastic. So
simple stuff.
It is simple, and I think the most important thing is putting it into practice and making it be a change of habit, change of behavior, and that's when you see the real difference. So what would you like to see as the new normal leadership?
It's important to leaders to appreciate the challenges we have faced over the last 3 months or so. But what is more important is to have a positive outlook. So although we've learned a lot with regard to the whole the pandemic and the coronavirus outbreak and everything else, but for me, we still have half of the year remaining. So if you consider we're in June now, we still have 6 months of trading ahead of us. So as leaders, we need to have a positive mindset, and we need to focus on Vision 2020 as opposed to what's happened in the past, because that's negative emotions. You want to push that to a side, and you want to focus with your new vision or strategy or whatever that is in mind, but we want to keep it as realistic as possible. So the key message I would like to share is the outlook, a positive outlook.
Which is important to have a positive outlook and everything, really. So what are you doing that you weren't doing before the pandemic? Is there any new kind of habits, new things that you're doing that you weren't doing before and now you're doing them all the time?
For me, it's networking, it's connecting with like-minded professionals. Before the outbreak, if you like, I had a structure, I had the strategy, but naturally when you work from home, although I'm focused, so from 9 to 5:30, that's my office hours. So for me, that's just being focused with my work or job, if you like. 5:30 and onwards, that's my personal time. And what I have been doing is offering advice. So because I'm also a trained counselor, I have also been reaching out to professionals just to offer them advice and offer them counseling, just to help them manage their mental well-being. And it gives me a great buzz knowing I'm doing something positive, I'm doing something useful. So it's not just bragging on about your success and how great the magician and all the rest, the magician is, but it's also giving something back to the community. And it makes me feel happy. The fact that I can share some of my skills or experiences with maybe someone who's vulnerable, or maybe someone who's in a difficult space or facing challenges. So yeah, I have been giving up a lot of my personal time, weekends, evenings, bank holidays, and yeah, it's just I just want to do what I can to help the wider audience.
And you are doing some amazing work, so thank you. And it's been just a pleasure to speak with you. I admire everything that you're doing, and I'm looking forward to when you're telling me you've got the 12 fellowships all together, which is amazing. If anyone wants to contact you, what's the best way to do that?
So yeah, they can find me on LinkedIn. So it's a simple name, The Magician 7M. So it's The Magician 7M.
Fantastic. Thank you for your time. And I really look forward to speaking to you again. And I'll see you again. Thank you, Jay.
No, I just want to say, Trufina, thank you very much for the opportunity. And it's been an amazing experience for me collaborating with you, or just sharing good practice. And I just want to say your work is inspiring. I've had the opportunity to explore your own, for example, your LinkedIn profile, your YouTube channel, and from a sharing perspective, where as professionals we're sharing knowledge, I think it's important to give respect where it's due. So, you've been a great ambassador. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. That's made me really happy. But the main reason why I'm doing this is I really just want to share knowledge and experience to help anybody, to help everybody, and if I can do that, I'm more than happy to. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, then. I look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Take care. Thank you, Trifina.
Bye.
Bye.
If you like this video, please give a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe now for new videos. Please let me know in the comment section below if you found these tips useful. And if you would like more professional one-to-one coaching, please feel free to contact me at igetisleadership.com. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.